The capital letter A in Engrosser script begins with a horizontal oval hairline and pushing up into a compound curve. So we start with a dot. All dots in Engrosser script is started by drawing a circle and then filling it in. And very lightly, hairline, compound curve. Now, when we think of this shape here, this is a horizontal elliptical oval. What I mean by an elliptical oval is when we have this elliptical oval shape, when we divide it in 4 parts, these 4 parts are all equal. So it is not an egg shape like so, because when we divide it like this, these are not equal parts. Also, this is a horizontal oval, meaning this line is horizontal. So this should not look like that, where if we completed this oval, this line is like so. So this is incorrect. Also, when we push this hairline, we have to think about this shape. This is the shape of a compound curve. What that means is it's simply an S curve where here and here fits the same size potential ovals. You can think of this shape in the letter A, a ladle. So what we do not want is this is too straight, so you have nowhere to hold your handle. What we want is this gentle curve that is the compound curve. The second stroke of the letter A is the shade. It begins where the hairline is meeting the headline. So we're going to shade down on the main slant. The distance between the hairline and the shade is very important. If this is too wide, your letter would look like so. I'm exaggerating, but this would make your letter look very elementary. If it's too close, like this, your letter would look too skinny. So the right distance is approximately this is equal to this. When we cross the A to finish a letter, we want our line, when we draw the oval from here, we want it to cross in the middle of this hairline compound curve or ladle shape. So starting from here, we're going to push a hairline up, gentle shade, lift the pen, then exit out of the letter. So some common mistakes for the letter A is, for beginners, when you push the hairline, it may be a little difficult to control. So I often see that instead of a smooth curve, I see bent squares right here. And also this part can get rather flat. Another common mistake is this compound curve is not completely a compound curve. There's a slight curve here, but the top is straight. So the letter looks like so. And this sharp point, like a triangle, should not exist. Another thing to note about the letter A is this loop. this oval loop, the slant of this oval loop should be crossing the main shade at a right angle. And sometimes we can make the mistake of making this loop too tiny. So this whole A looks like it's kind of getting out instead of gracefully fitting into the crossing. The lowercase a begins with a potential oval hairline up, and then starting a little to the right of where the hairline ends, we're going to gradually apply pressure, shade down, lift the pen to create this transition from the swell to the hairline. Push the hairline up to finish this oval. So if I did not have the shade, this can be a letter O. Now when we shade down, we want to shade down on the slant of the letter. Where we start our shade is very important. If we cut into the oval, this will no longer be an oval. If we're too far out, we're leaving a gap. So we want to start our shade so that the line down is on the main slant and it's barely touching the hairline of this oval. So split the tines, straight down, lift the pen to create the gradual transition, then exit out of the letter. Some common mistakes for the lowercase a is that this oval shape is too circular. So the letter looks like this. It looks very elementary. If the shade cuts into the oval, we have a very flat looking A, which is not very graceful. For the lowercase a to be on the slant, think about your slant line being on the main slant, but this oval shape, this elliptical oval, if we bisect it, that line is parallel or on the main slant as well. That's when you know you have an accurate lowercase a.